So I've pre-measured out everything I'm gonna need, and I will let you guys know the recipe we listed down below. Please make sure to subscribe for more recipes, and let's get into it. But I'm JD woman, back to where you came from, baby. We with my eyes hit the street, your eyes is crossed. Mr. Biggs before you. How you know my name, so anyway, I was gonna tell it. This cat was really familiar. Don't I know you a long time ago? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Feel I know your brother very well. So I'm gonna place this in the freezer and I'll be right back. Alright, so we've let it chill in the fridge for a little bit, or in the freezer, and you still got your little clumps. Next, we're just gonna add in our buttermilk, and our buttermilk is basically just your plant-based milk and apple cider vinegar combined. You're gonna add this in gradually. We're not putting the whole thing in. You're gonna add it in sections. So you don't want to add it all in at the same time because you might not need it all. So just gonna continue to add until it's not too dry. You don't want it to be too wet, but you don't want it to be too dry. So we're just gonna add a little bit at a time. You're gonna give it a nice mix, and then your dough should be where it needs to be. And that looks like a good medium for me. See, it's nice and, you know, doughy. So next thing, we're gonna roll it out onto our surface. So make sure to wash your hands. And we're gonna roll this out. So now we're gonna roll it out, but make sure to get your cookie cutters ready. I'll be using my cookie cutters. You can use a mason jar top. You can use whatever the hell you got that's round, but I'll be using these. So we're gonna set these off to the side. And we're gonna get our hands ready. So you're gonna need some bench flour. I'm just gonna take a little bit and kind of get my hands ready. You want them to be floured up because you don't want your dough to stick to your hands. And put that to the side. And you're gonna take your dough, all of it. And this is where we'll be creating the layers. So you're just gonna take a little bit of flour and kind of pat down the dough. Give it a little pat. Pat, pat. And then we're gonna take a little flour, rub our hands, and you're gonna fold it in half and pat it down again. And you're gonna do the same thing again. And this is what's gonna create our layers. And then, you know, turn it. And I usually fold it 4 times, and that's enough for me. Now, depending on how thick you want yours, this is where we're gonna cut out our goods. So let me grab So I have my dough and I have my prepared baking sheet. So I'm just gonna move my baking sheet up. And we're gonna cut our things out and put them right on our baking sheet. So I want to make mine a little bit bigger this time, but you can use whatever size you want. I'll be using this size, and I'm just gonna kind of dust it a little bit with some flour, and I'm gonna bring you guys in so you can see what it looks like. So you want your things to be pretty thick. You don't twist, you just press down, and then you'll have this nice layered biscuit. And we're just gonna look at that. Cool. It's amazing. And then you're just gonna do this until you run out of dough. So I'll probably get 3 big ones. Again, you want to look nice. And then you can gather this dough right back up, powder your hand a little bit, and then you're just gonna do the same thing. Now this one won't come out as flaky looking as the other ones, but it'll still be good. So definitely do it. And then depending on how thick you want it, I like mine to be about this thick. You see the thickness of it? And then I'm just gonna go in and press it down, get rid of those edges, and there we go. That beautiful dough. This is what the biscuit basically looks like texture wise, and you see that thickness. That's what you want. You want it to be nice and thick. Don't smush it, don't twist, just place them on there. Alright, so with the leftover dough, I'm just gonna take it and kind of press it into a smaller little thing. So just take some flour on your hand and press it in, and you'll have a nice shaped biscuit. Let me pat the rest of the flour out, and there we go. So these are what my biscuits look like. Okay, so this is what the biscuit looks like before going in the oven. And we're just gonna lather them with a little bit of plant-based milk. So we're just gonna take some plant-based milk. I'm using almond milk, and we're gonna brush the top of our biscuits with this. You don't have to put too much, just put a nice amount. You want to coat the sides as well. And we're going to do this to all of our biscuits. Now we're going to put these in the oven. I'm just going to take these over to the oven. And we're going to put them in the oven, set at 450 degrees. Cook it for 15 minutes. So I'm going to take these out. And look at how they look. Oh my gosh. You guys see this? We're going to walk these over and sit them down. Ooh. So right out of the oven, we're just going to coat it with some vegan butter. So you're going to take your butter and you're going to just spread it all over these buns. And you want to do this numerous amount of times, getting those edges and those sides. You're just going to do this to all of your things. I like to go over mine twice. So once it cools, I'll add another layer. And I'll do it 3 or 4 times just to make it extra buttery. And it's going to make it ooey gooey buttery. Now, I love butter. Okay, that's 2. And then we're gonna crack one right open. So I'm gonna go grab some jam and I'll be right back. So now it's time to taste our biscuit. So I'm just gonna take one of them and take the fluffiest one. So look at those layers, guys. Do you see the layers? It's my favorite part. So we're just gonna break it open. Oh, look at those layers. It is nice and steamy, of course. So it's nice and steamy. Look at that. Ugh. Mine's, I like jam. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of jam to a piece. And that's how I like to eat my biscuit. Oh. Look at the texture, man. This is definitely worth making. And those are my homemade biscuits.